Hi folks, Mark Prosser, come on over here. I'm welding some outside corners today, right? So I just want to talk a couple things about technique, how to do this. When you're running these corners, you want to make sure that your torch is 90 degrees. You can have a little bit of travel angle, but if your torch turns one way or the other, you're going to push that weld off to the side. Just a little bit, and you're going to push it off to the side. When you get it nice and even, you can see the weld joint is right in the center of the weld. The welds wrap over, and we're going to get penetration on the back side because I used a little bit of a keyhole technique. So let me flip this over and look at that nice penetration on the inside. So I'm getting comfortable. I'm checking my range of motion with my torch. I can slide my hand across the table or I can use it this way, but I gotta keep that thing 90 degrees as I go across there, and I'm letting it fall down and I'm getting to the end. And then you get results like this. With a little bit of practice, I need some too. So as I'm making this weld, you can see I'm adding enough filler to roll that weld up over the edges. But if you look right behind the tungsten, watch it drop. I add the filler and it builds. Drop and build. Penetration, reinforcement. So if we're talking about outside corners, we might as well talk about inside corners too. So I've got one tacked up here. I like running them vertical just for demonstration because they're a little bit harder for you and me. So I want to make sure that my metal is configured so my torch can run up this thing. And there's a lot of ways guys do this to keep their torch steady, but I just lay my hand on the table and I can rock this thing right up. What we want to look for is fusion into both pieces of metal. And the other tricky thing is getting this filler in here. So sometimes it's better to slide it up. You can bring your arm up in here so my arm's stationary and my torch is stationary. And then I'm just gonna come right down in this thing and rock it up. So let's see how it works. So running these things up, you gotta really watch your torch angles. Depending on your positioning, it's really hard to keep those angles nice and even. But it's the same thing. I watch it flow into the edges, I'm getting penetration, and I'm filling that up to make the weld the proper size to give it the strength that it needs. You sit down and practice for a while, you can get some pretty good results running them vertical up. So just make yourself comfortable, get that torch in there, keep your angles right, watch the little video clip, and I'll explain what I'm looking for when I'm doing these inside corners. But they're good joints to practice, outside corners and inside corners. See you next time.